She is professionally a doctor, running a diagnostic center, Harsha Modern Diagnostics. She is the director of Modern Medical Center and also the founder of Soulbeat Wellness, a wellness center. She was honored with India Healthcare Awards 2018 at Delhi. She was also awarded with Young Business Entrepreneur Award. She is also awarded with Sadhana Achiever Award recently and many more awards. She is working for women empowerment and women health, and more than 500 free health camps and health talks were organized by her in and around Mangalore. She was the president of the First Lady Lions Club, Kaveri of District 317D in the year 2016-17. She is proud mother of Anna, 13 years, and Andrea, 10 years. Welcome, Dr. Priyadarshini Rai on this show. Now,
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Rai, you have already seen that topic today is COVID-19 impact on Indian mothers. You being the Mrs. India Bollywood model, and you are also a mother, plus you are also a business lady. Now, we would like to know from you your views, the COVID-19 impact on Indian mothers. Dr. Priyadarshini Rai, please.
We Indian mothers are always into run. If I have to say about me, in the beginning of this lockdown, it was quite difficult and challenging for me to take care of my daughters, because it was completely abnormal. I mean, from normal to somewhere we have to completely change our lifestyle, and all those things, challenges had come during the lockdown, beginning of the lockdown. Then my kids were getting ready for their exams, and they were going the normal school schedules and other things. But one fine day they came to know that the exams are cancelled, and you will be inside the house, you won't be going outside and everything. I could see there is a difference. There was a kind of confusion in my children. And then I took a stand. I have to do something to make them understand this is not a permanent. It is only bounded for a certain time. You need not have to worry. So I, being a mother, more than a mother, I started being a friend to them. Whatever they were missing, the friends or the school activities, everything, I just kept my mother aside and I became friend to them. And this journey is going on from past 3 to 4 months. I'm doing it. And main thing is to maintain their mental, standard. Like we need to give them lots of support to their mind, because they don't know what is happening around. They are clearly confused. And the lockdown period during that 1-2 months was very, very challenging. They were inside the house. We can just manage ourselves, thinking that it's okay, life is there after that. There is always a bright light after the darkness. But what the children, how they will manage? So I started thinking in that term, and I spent a lot of time, leaving my work. I stayed with them. I became friend to them. I started playing with them. I became a child. I started living my childhood, and there I gave them that you need to be very strong, and any situation of your life, you have to, you should not get scared. You should always take it as a challenge and move on. That's how I did it, this particular time. And other day, someone asked my daughter, younger one, when is your school going to start? Then she said, maybe somewhere, the new season, September. Then that person asked her, when you want your school to start? She said one thing, I want the school to start tomorrow. That word tomorrow was, so touching for me. I got really felt like she is badly, in need of going back to the school. She want to, mingle with her friends. She want to learn, those things I found, and we need to give more support to them, especially
in DNB Cardiology. She is the Chief Interventional Cardiologist, NS Memorial Institute of Medical Science, Kollam, Kerala. She was awarded National Gold Medal in DNB Cardiology in 2007. She is recipient of A.V. Gandhi Award in 2006 for the best research paper in cardiology on the work in hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. She was trained in cardiology under Padam Shri Dr. G. Vijaya Raghavana at Kerala Institute of Medical Science, Trivandrum. She is proud mother of 2 daughters, elder one Dr. Megha Jacob and younger one Hridaya Jacob, medical student at CMC, Ludhiana. Welcome, Dr. Daniel. You have just heard what Dr. Priyadarshini has said. And she said that she has to become a child to see to it that the children will not have any problem because of the this lockdown they are facing, to give them the moral support and to see to it that they will enjoy the same environment which they were enjoying. But although they want to go to school very badly. Now, we would like to know from you, because you are a mother of 2 daughters and they are quite, they are not as young as of Dr. Priyadarshini. So I would like to know from you, COVID-19 impact on Indian mothers. Dr. Daniel, please.
First of all, thank you so much for inviting me to this panel. And I congratulate the organizers for this topic because it's a very unique topic. You are recognizing the mothers who are always in the back curtain. Actually, their role most of the time goes neglected or rather taken for granted. And I being a cardiologist, I always compare mother to the heart. And without her, there seems to be no heart throb. So COVID-19, as you know, it has been an unprecedented shock to everyone and more so to the mothers. Mothers are supposed to be superheroes. And I feel this time also, this COVID has proved that mothers continue to be superheroes. And I feel in the war against an invisible enemy like COVID, the patience which has mothers got in abundance helped a lot. Multitasking, I think the greatest ability of any female and for a mother, that helped a lot in running the show during this crisis. And we have seen that who being females have outrun the show. They have successfully managed the show better than or equal to their male counterparts from different parts of the world, like our Shailaja teacher, our health minister from Kerala, and from Germany, from New Zealand, Angela Merkel and Jacinda Ardern, all have proved that women are superheroes during any crisis, even with a visible enemy or an invisible enemy. So women, being certain particular capabilities of women like emotional intelligence, their willingness to hear, listen others, their risk-averse nature, all helped a lot for the Indian women to tide over the crisis. And multiple unique issues have come up during this COVID crisis for women, which are very unexpected, rather very horrible feelings for many mothers. First of all, as Dr. Priyadarshini has mentioned, it's very difficult for them to engage the school-going children for the last 3.5 to 4 months. And it was very difficult for them. But I, being a mother of a grown-up children, I didn't have much problem. They were in their own world. But I found the patients and were complaining of how to engage these children for the next few 4 months. That's one of the biggest difficulties they faced. Another difficulty was to coordinate the kitchen work and the household chores, which many women find it very difficult. Some help which they were going to get from the housemates are also deprived of during this COVID season, lockdown season. And the mothers are supposed to have Akshaya Patram, that is an inhospitable vessel for all the family members throughout the day. And at the same time, there were certain good effects of this COVID also. One is the lack of fast foods. The unavailability of fast foods have made the mother's kitchen more palatable for the children. And that's definitely a good move. At the same time, women find it extremely difficult to tolerate these husbands who have to sit at home they were always outdoors and they will come back only at evening, but they will have to sit at home and they were all the more asking more attention, more demanding during this time. And they have to fulfill their demands also. But at the same time, it's encouraging that family bondage has definitely gone up during this time. And at the same time, domestic violence are also markedly increased during this time. And women find it extremely, another demand from the women was the extreme sexual demands of the husband, which they have to meet because they are also all sitting home. So they have to continue their household work, the extra demands of the husband. And for a matter of sake, we know even the extramarital relations have to be zeroed down during this COVID season. Other hurdle was the economic impact of the COVID on the family budget. Many women were finding it extremely difficult to meet both the ends meet, and especially the budget of mothers whose husbands were abroad were finding they had a very terrible time during this time, and the lack of raw materials, groceries, provision. So they have to make the menu from the available food, available materials from the kitchen garden, and whatever available around the surroundings. And I, being a doctor, I found that many women are complaining of unnecessary anxiety, palpitation, chest heaviness during this period, thinking about the children abroad, thinking about their husbands abroad. Many have complained of sleeplessness. And as a cardiologist, I have found few patients coming with the rhythm disturbance, variation in the heart rhythm, and stress heart attack, what is called the external effect of heart attack during this time.
Okay, yes, you want to say something? Yes.
Yeah, so there are so many issues, and I don't want to forget working mothers during this time, because we are all talking about the mothers sitting at home. There are a lot of mothers who had to struggle in this COVID time, especially the working mothers in the COVID war. You have to think about them, the doctors, the nurses, the ASHA workers. Their difficulties is uncountable because they have to have the separation from the kids during the COVID time. Then they have to face the struggle of the working place with the PPE kits and the difficulties. Then the stigma of the society. Everything was horrible, and we can't forget many nurses who struggled. I think of our Lini sister, who had been a martyr of Nipah outbreak in Kerala. There are so many working mothers like that also. Kudos to all mothers who stood the show. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Daniel. Kudos to all the mothers. Yes, we have to, because you have rightly said that the mother is a multitasking person. And you have also mentioned about the demanding husbands. Definitely, it's a very, very difficult time for mothers. One side, it's a love and affection, more of family bonding. The other side, so much demanding from husband, the children, and even for the working lady, it's very, very difficult because the working mother has to go to the field also. And as you mentioned about the nurses, the doctors, the ASHA workers, even the police women who are working day and night to save our lives. So kudos to mothers, no doubt about it. Now I would like to go to our next panelist. She's Miss Hemlata Bhandari. Miss Hemlata Bhandari is MA Economics, MA in Personal Management, and MBA in HR. She worked in Airport Authority of India from 1984 till 2020. Worked as airport manager in Mangaluru Airport from 2013 till 2017. Later in Chennai Airport, from where she retired. She worked as professor of economics also. Also worked in All India radio programs like Sportsnet, Youth Drama, and she used to read news till 2014. He also worked with Doordarshan, did Ilam Thendarai, Employment News, given voiceover, anchored various programs. She also wrote many articles in Hindi, English, and Tamil in different magazines. She is proud mother of Suchit and Supriya, and grandmother of Hia 4 years and Mohit 2 years. Welcome, Miss Hemlata Bhandari on the show. Now, Miss Bhandari, you have heard what your earlier panelists, Dr. Rai and Dr. Daniel has said. Dr. Rai mentioned that she has to become a child to see to it that the children will not feel alone, or they will not feel any problem because they are not mixing with their friends. And Dr. Daniel has highlighted the problems which mothers are facing, especially they have to do all the kitchen work, they have to fulfill all the demands of the husband, which are extra demands because they are sitting in the house only, as well as she also highlighted those working mothers who are working during the COVID-19 time on the like doctors, nurses, ASHA workers, and whatnot. So now we would like to know from you, because you have also worked in a very, very different, in almost many places, whether it's All India Radio or the Doordarshan or airport, and even you have taught in you are the professor also. Now, when you have done all these things and now you are retired and you are at home, how you are handling, and now what are your views of COVID-19 impact on Indian mothers? Ms. Hemlata Bhandari, please.
Good morning, Mr. Dalmoil. Actually, I want to talk about the balancing marriage and motherhood. See, balancing marriage and motherhood is not an easy task. First of all, there are some points are there. You can keep it and a healthy family relationship as a wife and a mother. First, we have to find time for ourselves. We have to set right expectations with your partner and as well as your kids. To keep, you have to cook everyone's favorite meal, support him in dreams and goals of the family. Make him feel that he's still your #1 priority. Teach your kids how to support dad's role as father and provider. Admit that you cannot do everything on your own. We have to practice proper time management. We have to develop a positive attitude in every situation. Women need to learn how to be a good wife and a mother at the same time. Learning how to balance being a parent and being a wife is one of the best lessons you will ever learn. Mera paas maa hai, the Shashi Kapoor's powerful dialogue from Diva, will stay with us forever. In this COVID-19, I had helped the community without physical presence, helped the daily wages workers who is in need of basic food. In our airport, so many loaders have lost their jobs due to this pandemic situation. I've helped financially to 5 loaders. Apart from this, helped watchmen, autowala, sweepers, ironwala, and driver in the form of money, grains, pulses, medicines, and also helped some staff to pay the school fees due to this lockdown period. Actually, our ironwala and sweepers, they have showed the government has given the ration rice. It was full of insects. Nobody can eat that. I felt very pity on that, and I have given rice to them. And successful mothers are not the ones that never struggle. They are the ones that never give up, despite the struggles. Lockdown has increased the burden of household work for all families. Children are off from school. They have to be homeschooled, fed and entertained. The elderly are at risk and have to be attended to with greater care than usual. In India, daily lives of middle-class families ran on the back of a slew of service providers, maids, drivers, gardeners, dhobi, garbage pickups, and even small vendors. Working from home and working for home is entirely a different task. Women have to become, as she said, multitask oriented. The sudden and indefinite rise in work pressure on the mental and physical health of women without domestic helper has rapidly moved to a full-blown Indian economic recession. Whether it is Chhatrapati Shivaji or our Prime Minister Modi, there is an Indian mother behind every successful man, I can say. I got retired in the period of January 31st. So from February onwards, this COVID started. So what I did, I'm in my daughter's house, I'm helping her. She's doing work from home. She's not even having time to eat a breakfast or lunch sometimes. Sometimes she's sitting till 12:30 or 1 o'clock. So I'm taking care of child, I'm taking care of the domestic, all household things, I'm cooking. And not only that, I'm helping the child with lot of activities and shlokas. I'm sitting with her for music, dance. And now she's only 4 years, but she can tell Suprabhatam, Sahasranamam, half. And then so many slokas also she can say. And she can sing lot of Tyagaraja Kirtana's music. So it is not that we have to be aloof and we have to think all the things. We can, women can find time definitely. And we can do something useful to the society. Not only that, and we have to prepare ourselves for the challenges and not to get panicked. With the good advice and suggestions of Indian mothers following national culture and traditional culture values, with disciplined hygienic habits and good food habits, Indian immunity is very high, as we know. We can find a solution to eradicate COVID-19 completely. Actually, mothers believe in us more than we believe in ourselves. Do more for us than they do for themselves. worry about us more than we realize, pray for us more than ever we know, value us more than anything else in the world, give us more than anything they can afford, love us more than anyone else can, matter more than words can express. So we have to prepare ourselves for the challenges and not to get panicked at any cost. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hemlata ji. Really, it's a credible thing for a mother, and that you have helped so many people to whom you know, even you don't know, and you have given at this COVID-19. And this shows that what is mother, because mother is not only for their own children, but mother is for everyone. And that is why in India, we proudly say that mother is Mother India. And one more thing is there, that the way you have mentioned about the immunity, which I also mentioned, yes, thanks to all the mothers that they have given all of us that the food, the quality of food from the childhood, that's why the immunity is more. And I'm sure the doctor in the panel will also vouch for it, that our mortality rate is far less than the countries, European countries, or even in USA or UK. Now I would like to go to our next panelist. She is Miss Padmaja Menon. Miss Padmaja Menon is the Managing Trustee of Mitra Equal Opportunity Trust, Cochin. She was awarded the Best Women Journalist of India in the year 1988 by Eve's Weekly Times of India. She represented India in the World Seminar on Communication Without Words for Girl Guides held in Switzerland. She also won the President's Award in Girl Guiding. She was the Rotary International Group Study Exchange member to Tennessee in USA. The Tennessee government honored her by awarding honorary citizenship. She was the Inner Wheel Chairman of District 320. She anchors programs for various channels. She is also the central government nominee on Kerala State Social Welfare Board. She is proud mother of Sri Hari, who is studying in MBA, and Arjun, who is doing his BA. Welcome, Ms. Padmaja, on this show. Namaskar. Please unmute yourself. Please unmute. Now, Ms. Padmaja, namaste. You have heard the earlier panelists. They have mentioned about everything, right from that, like Dr. Rai said, she has to become the child. Dr. Daniel mentioned about the multitasking thing, and also mentioned that how the working women are facing, how they are doing, the mothers, working mothers, the work, even in the field as well as home, and the demands, fulfilling the demands of, extra demands of the husbands and the children. And you have also heard here what Ms. Hemlata has said about that how she has helped and how she is doing the work even at home at this age, because she has to help the grandchildren so that her daughter can work from home easily. And so now we would like to know from you, because you are, I was given to understand that you have to go and attend a meeting for the as a government nominee, central government nominee on Kerala State Social Welfare Board. So please tell us your views on COVID-19 impact on Indian mothers. Ms. Padmaja Menon, please.
Kerala, whether they'll bring in some more problem, whether they'll take away our rations and other things. So what we did first was to approach these migrant laborers settlements and provide them with food, console the mothers there. Including there were some elderly women, the mothers of the migrant laborers were there. We consoled them. And as a mother, since I could speak little of Hindi and Tamil and other languages, I could communicate with them also. And what they needed was, they needed food, of course. What they needed was the consolation which they expected from a woman, that we could provide them. And also the little kids, they wanted to go out. They wanted to go out and play in the an open field as they used to, and it was very difficult for the mothers to control them from running out with their friends. So as the person not known to them, they started listening to me, and I was visiting them almost every day, and I started stitching masks for the little kids also as a mother. So they were so excited to have their own small masks in multicolors. They were happy to wear it while they run out, because we just cannot stop them from running out. They are like rockets. So they will be requested and made them understand the seriousness of wearing a mask while they go out. So they started wearing it proudly, because most of them didn't have masks at that time. So the kids were so happy, and they used to boast that, okay, we are wearing masks. And then the other problem which we from other states, they have to be in quarantine. The society is so much concerned about the persons in quarantine. They start looking down on the not looking down with scare. They look on the families where they have the persons in quarantine. So we try to go and meet the persons in the neighborhood where they have a person in quarantine, home quarantine, and tell them there's nothing to be worried of. It will not get affected by the air. You need not be scared. You can still communicate with the persons. You can speak to them over phone. So we try to give the ladies, especially the ladies in the neighboring houses, the courage to be friendly with the mother of the person who is in quarantine. So that's how we help the society. And coming to my own family, like sir mentioned, I have two grown-up sons. They were finding it very hard to stay at home, because they just couldn't go out and hang out with their friends. They were in the mid of their exams, the semester exam and the final year exams. And when the COVID lockdown came and the exams were postponed, as a mother, I was really upset. I was scared that these children were not studying anything. They were always in front of the computer or their mobile with playing games with their friends. And I used to go around them saying, Mone, why don't you study? Son, why don't you study? And they were not used to me being around in the house as a doting mother. Like, I got many other responsibilities as a responsible citizen. So for them also, getting me at home and being behind them, asking them, telling them, it was a total new experience for all of us. My little son, second son, is also writes quite well. I too write quite well. So what we thought is, we'll start a book, back-to-back book we'll write. He'll write in English and I'll write in Malayalam, and on the same topic. And he's got very fantastic ideas about, suddenly it pops up, and he'll just share the thread with me, and he'll say, okay, well, let's do it. And we'll sit back to back to each other. He'll write in his computer, I the traditional way in a paper with a pen. So it was really a great experience. Otherwise, I'm sure this experience would not have happened to our family. And like ma'am was saying, the helps were very hard for them to come for the daily wages workers we have at home. It was very difficult for them to come. So cleaning the house, it was like, though I have two sons, they were helping me with the washing of the clothes, the cleaning the house. We started actually enjoying it, and I used to make fun of them by saying, yeah, your wife is going to be so lucky because you have learned everything, cleaning the house, cleaning the vessels after we finish eating, making the bed, and putting the things in the washing machine, drying it and putting it in the cloth hanger. So they started learning everything, and we started doing it together. Then now I just give them the instruction, the lesson, why don't you just put it in the washing machine? I'll tell the younger son, why don't you put it for drying? So they've started doing that also. That's another great thing which has happened during the COVID. But now I have to say that I'm more concerned about the below poverty line mothers. They are in very real financial trouble. They do not have work. Their husbands do not have work. Their working sons or daughters, they do not have work. And whatever the government has given as the ration, everything is getting over. And as you know, in Kerala, we don't like to go and beg and things like that. So it is very hard for them. They don't know what to do. And the government has started the online classes without providing TV or what do you say, laptop or mobile, and kids have committed suicide. And I get at least 5-6 calls every day from the parents. Say, so far we have not begged anything from anybody, but we are so scared what our children will do without the learning.
Doctor, you have muted it. Yes, now we can hear you. Yes, Miss Padmaja. No, unmute yourself, please. Unmute. Yeah. Yes, now we can. Yes, we can hear you now. Yes. No, I think some connection problem is there. We can't hear you. So thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Now we can hear. Yes. Okay.
So can I continue?
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
yes.
So that is the major problem we are facing in Kerala as a mother, is that now study material for the children. The government has started the schools without providing them with the study material. So parents are finding it very difficult to go around begging for the study materials. The government has to address this. And mothers, they are multitasking. They are the finance minister, they are the home minister, they are the policewoman, they are the psychologist, they are the counselor, they are the best friend, and more than that, very sympathetic mother you have to be, because the children are to reopen. They do not know when the exams will be over. They did not know whether the COVID is going to affect their friends and themselves. The mothers are not only mothers, they are daughters also. I have a very elderly mother who is 87 years old, also a gynecologist. She was having her own charity clinics. After the COVID, she cannot go to the clinics because she's quite elderly. She's finding it very difficult because she's saying, after the COVID, I don't know whether I'll be able to go out because I'm always at home. I've not seen my mother for the last 3 years. It's very hard for her and for me not see, because I used to see her every day. She stays just 500 meters away, but being a very old elderly lady, for the mothers, it's very tough time. You have to act many roles, get into many roles and act it with perfection. Otherwise, your family is going to suffer. Your husband, your family, your friends, your children, everybody is looking upon you to have a smiling face so that they will have a cheerful life. That's what I have to tell to my friends. Be with the family. Always keep a smiling face for the sake of the family and the society. Whatever tensions you are undergoing, always keep a smiling face and say, okay, I'm there with you. I am there with you. Mama is going to be with you. That should be the spirit during this COVID times.
Keep smiling with your family. Always say that I am with you. Very nicely you have mentioned, Ms. Menon, about, and you have described how you have helped even the migrants, small children, by giving them the mask. And also you have what you have done for the society. Yes, you have raised a question about the that the government has to provide the laptops or the mobile phones, all the proper connections so that the online classes can take place. Yes, that is a matter of concern. I'm sure the government will definitely do the needful, because this pandemic is such an unexpected one. No one, even the government of the days, are not aware about this. So it takes time. And once you are also, as a government nominee, you are on the social welfare board, definitely you will raise the voice and it will reach. I have given you the time because you have to leave now to attend the meeting, and you told me that 11:40 is the time. So I think I am within time you have completed. So in case if you are joining from your office, you try. If we will be there, then I will ask the question to you. Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Padma S. Menon, for the time being. Thank you. Now I would like to go to our other panelist. She is Dr. Remani Gopal Krishnan. Dr. Remani Gopal Krishnan is MSc, PhD, PG Diploma, J and MC. Dr. Gopal Krishnan is Chief Executive Officer, Onchakura Coconut Producer Company Limited, Allappuzha. She is a postgraduate in plant science with PhD specialization in coconut crop improvement. She joined the Government of India Services in Coconut Development Board in 1982 and served the organization in various capacities for 32 years and retired as director in charge in 2014. She authored and co-authored several publications in coconut and written more than 250 popular and research articles on coconut. She was editor of well-known Indian Coconut Journal of Coconut Development Board for a period of more than 1 decade. She widely traveled all over India and abroad, including the major coconut growing countries like Indonesia, Thailand, Sri Lanka, Republic of Trinidad, etc. And she also visited market destinations like UAE, USA, Singapore, etc. Dr. Imani Gopalakrishnan was the Indian nominee in the committee constituted by Asian Pacific Coconut Community for Women Empowerment in Coconut Sector in 2007. She is the proud mother of 2 children. Elder son is in US with family, working with Visa Incorporation, and daughter in Bangalore with family in TCS. Welcome, Dr. Imani, on our show. You have heard all the earlier panelists, what they have spoken, and they have given the quality, they have told us the qualities of mother, although whatsoever they said, it's very, very less. But still, whatsoever they have mentioned is very clear that the role of mother in the present scenario is very, very important. Whether it was due to for the immunity booster, for the providing the proper food, proper diet, healthy diet at this time, from the very childhood also of the child, plus to play with them, to see to it that the children will not feel that they are like in a lockdown and they can't go anywhere. So in that situation, plus also to fulfill the extraordinary demands of the husbands, also those who are working, how they are managing from outside and this thing, as well as how they have helped the loaders or the migrants. So many things have been told. Now we would like to know from you, COVID-19 impact on Indian mother. Dr. Imani Gopalakrishnan, please.
Namaste. Thank you, sir. When I got this subject, the impact of COVID on Indian mothers, I was asking myself, who is the mother? Whether there is any definition for that. Of course, we can get it from the dictionary or from the internet. But will those be a real portrayal of a mother? No. Motherhood, I think the motherhood don't have any definition. To me, a mother is a heartbeat of a home. If there is no heartbeat, no life, no home at all. Okay, motherhood is also a storehouse of multiple feelings, the complex feelings. She feels, she consumes daily love, tenderness, passion, anxiety, excitement, frustration, and so on. This will be in rotation around a mother. During this pandemic period, during this COVID-19 period, all these feelings are increased exponentially. When we talk about a mother or the experience of a mother, the mothers of all sorts of mother, we have seen all the guests there in different ranges. I mean, the mother of a grown-up children, or just like me, grown-up, married and settled somewhere, or the grown-up, the school-going children, mothers of school-going children, mothers of small kids, or mothers of carrying girls, or the mothers to be girls, or the working women, especially in the medical sector, the medical health sector. So these are all, their emotions are at various ranges. For example, I am a mother of, as you said, grown-up children. They are in far-flung areas where COVID prevalence is in a very bad shape. when I get the scaring media reports about US or Bangalore or wherever it may be, the intensity of tension I am carrying, or I have been carrying for the last 6 months, I cannot explain. The moment I get or I hear their voices over phone, or until I get the sounds of them, or I see them in WhatsApp or in mobile, different digital level, my heartbeat is it is running in a very faster way. It is tuck, 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 tuck. How it is, the moment we hear it, then only it is getting subsided. So that is the feeling of a mother whose children are settled in a faraway places where poverty is also on increase. So when, secondly, sir, if my children are grown up and they are settled away, but I have the opportunity of seeing mothers of the area company, where all these mothers of all these ranges are their school-going children and small kids, or the pregnant girls, mothers of pregnant girls. School-going children now, anyway, fortunately, the schools are closed. But we know they are facing uniquely challenging responsibilities, mothers of the school-going children. Traditionally, mothers carry all load, maximum load at home. But they should spend more time with the children. The homeschooling they are carrying, and they have to sit with them for doing the project. And similarly, as we heard, we have to nourish them with the good foods. And very interesting, especially in the first 1 month of strict lock period, they didn't have the groceries of vegetables or fruits or the sufficient food items was also there, not there. So it was the responsibility of the mother to manage with the available foodstuffs to reach their children or husband or the girls. The guests were, of course, like were in a very low density. So I have a colleague with me, a mother of a pregnant girl. We know the pregnancy itself is a very vulnerable period. So I am seeing in that mother their fear and anxiety that how till their daughter is separated with the other life inside. Anyway, I could see that incident also in between that the girl delivered. Then now her worries, that mother's worries, how to take care of that my daughter, how to take care of my grandchild, whether the COVID will contrast my daughter or that it is the responsibility. Then she becomes the grandmother of that girl. It is her responsibility becoming more and more. Then she becomes a grandmother because so like that. And another lady. So I am seeing my girl, my daughter as a working woman, my granddaughter as a working woman, how they are facing their problems. So anyhow, they are now adjusting with the new environments of remote working. But I feel that is a relatively advantageous position because at least they can have the feeling of sitting at home, seeing the children nearby. They can have little attention in the kitchen or somewhere. So that they are in a relatively advantageous position. But even then, working women, how they are managing their situation and their thing, this is very, very, very interesting. At the same time, home cost, the domestic cost they are meeting, they are facing. We have to. I can say that mental support for the mothers, for the working women, we have to take it in a separate way. And so the working women or the working women in the health sector, as Mr. Padmaja or somebody was telling, I have a very painful experience that in my mind. In Kerala, a nurse, a mother of a 5-year-old girl, because of the continuous crying of that girl, little girl, her father was taken to the mother. She's working in hospital. She was in isolation. She cannot be, was not permitted to go outside or to meet family members. And when the father was taken,
No, I think your net is weak, Dr. Gopal Krishnan. We can't hear you properly. So thank you very much for your. Thank you very much, Dr. Gopal Krishnan. We can't hear you clearly.
Talking in the veranda.
So we
it is weak, sir.
No. So we can't. No, it's not.
That is not clear, sir.
No, it is not clear. So thank you very much, Dr. Gopal Krishnan. We will talk to you in the next round. What you have said is very emotional, that you have mentioned that how your children are away from you, and once you hear from them or view them, then only you get that your heartbeat increases. And this is something very, very important, because and you have also mentioned that the mother is like a heartbeat of a home. Now, this shows that what is mother. Now we would like to go the next panelist of ours today guest. She is Miss Deepti Nair J. Miss Deepti Nair J is the head of the department Skill Development, Hindustan Latex Family Planning Promotion Trust, Noida. She holds master degree in finance. She is leading the national team of skill development at HLFPPT with a strength of 600 employees under her leadership. She has an experience of over 15 years in multi-phases of business environment. She is a powerful personality in the workplace and uses her positive attitude and tireless energy to encourage others to work and succeed. Ms. Deepti is also responsible for decision-making on future growth and development of skill division. She is also a part of CARE business development team of HLFPPT at numerous working arenas of organization growth. She has showcased her talents in different ways and initiated many result-oriented activities. She is proud mother of Devardhan Deepak, who is in class 10th. Welcome, Ms. Deepti, on this show. Now, Ms. Deepti, you have heard all our earlier panelists. I know that you became a bit impatient because your turn come to in the last, but the last word is always very important. Now, you have seen that how the working women as well as the mothers, how they have faced very boldly, because from the childhood, we have seen the role of mother. And every mother, and especially the Indian mothers, are very, very affectionate, and they were the real heroes, or they were the real, you can say, those who have brought up the children in such a way. The moral values, the physical strength, and the mental health, everything was provided by the mother, because father is always busy here and there, but the mother is always, whether even she is working, but she is always take care of the children. And now we would like to know from you the COVID-19 impact on Indian mothers. Ms. Deepti Nair, please.
Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to see all the mothers here, to hear from all the mothers. I would like to specially address all the working mothers here, or all the working mothers as Corona warriors, because they played a they are totally responsible for all support, to provide all support to the family. And it is an unrecognized job. We have never ever heard a woman, I mean household woman, being paid for the household work. And also lockdown, because of lockdown, the whole routine got haywire. And I would say that there was no bedtime, there was no playtime or the school time. And the mother is constantly working with the child to support him or her and on the online sessions, also to monitor them. And also parallelly, they were providing all kind of support to the family by cooking, cleaning, because most of the places were here with Delhi, all the societies banned daily walk-in maids because to avoid getting affected. So it was really an additional pressure to a woman, especially a working woman or a mother, to handle both the situation, household as well as the workload. And I would actually recognize, or I would like to categorize women like working, non-working, the daily wages, middle, lower, because the constraint related to or associated to different sectors are different. Like for a lower session or a middle or a lower session mother, where the male members were forced to leave or withdraw from alcohol or other drugs due to the unavailability, aided to repercussions which are supplemented with stress, domestic violence, child abuse, verbal abuse, and everything, and a household woman has to silently, suffer all these things which were untold. I had read a report from Hindustan Times that the swift rise in number of domestic violence cases during the period of lockdown. Like there was even Delhi police reported a figure of 2,446 cases, and most of them were specifically pertaining to women, out of which majority of like 1,612 were domestic violence cases. Because nowadays, during lockdown, in a nuclear family, we don't have the habit of spending 24 hours seeing each other. We leave in the morning, we come back, and then we rejoice the situation. We are getting emotionally refreshed when we meet in the evening, because there is no entertainment, no dining out, no shopping malls. We are confined within the walls, and the state of boredom and the depression, which had actually created a deterioration in the mental health of a household woman also. So, and I would also like to highlight that the sudden lockdown has temporarily separated many of the families. Like from the workplace, many of them couldn't get back to their district, states, etc., which increased the single mother left to fetch their children. Many men, in the newspaper also daily we are seeing men who are frustrated because of the worst financial situation, leaving the family in high distress, and all the burden is on the mother, and we depend everywhere, all the family members depend on the mother for emotional, physical, and all supports. And when I talk about a single parent, usually the heavy lifting parenting is with her only always, and she is the one who provides all the emotional support and try to fill the gap, and then she provide all the support to the other family members also, and the day-to-day responsibilities are with her. The emergencies she has to attend alone. So COVID for me, I would, in spite of all the conditions, in spite of all the negative conditions, I would love to say Madam Rachel well said that consumption of junk food has gone down. I would really love to say that my son, he's in 10th, but he loves to have so much of junk food. And Delhi is famous for junk food actually. So he day in day out he'll know all the junk food places here. So he stopped. He was forced to stop all the junk food habits. And even when I come from, I'm a working woman, and initially only for a period of the initial lockdown period we were totally off. We were working from home. But post me resuming office, I am so happy to see my son cooking food for me. That also preparing, seeing the YouTube shows, cooking shows, and also there are both sides of. I would like to say both the sides of the coin. Like even despite of all the unfavorable condition, lockdown or the COVID have demonstrated the value systems, the family relations, the filial affections, the respect to the elders, caring for each other, better bonding between siblings, because it nurtured, I believe that it nurtured our cultural values also. And moreover, COVID brought families together. We could spend, like, if I would personally say that I used to regret that I'm not able to spend much time with my family or with my son, which I enjoyed the lockdown period, spending time with my family, quality time with my family, which actually enhanced the tranquility or the harmony within the family members. And it also could give us a better understanding, or we could learn how to adjust to each other. So it's a fact that COVID scares, or we all when this pandemic was on, so we all had a very scary anxiety on how to handle it. I mean, being a mother of a son, of a kid who is in 10th, I'm really worried or anxious about his studies, because as far as online trainings are concerned, there is no monitoring system where the knowledge is actually disseminated. It's just passing on the, I take it as like for him, online studies is like his game. So parallelly, all the students enjoy this parallelly playing with different modalities. Or I'm really anxious because all the burden at last will come to me as a mother to prepare him for the exams. So I think being women, multitasking, and super mothers, I would say that we should be more positive in taking it, accepting the situation as a. We should positively welcome the situation and go ahead along with this, because there is no other way out till the time we get any vaccinations or till the time we eradicate this pandemic. So
okay.
Happy to share my views. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nair. You have mentioned that we have to be very positive and see all the situation. You have very nicely mentioned both the sides of the lockdown. The dark side is that so much domestic violence has increased, child abuse have increased, and the brighter side you have mentioned, the family bonding, the sibling bonding, that the time you are getting the food cooked by your son. So both the sides. Now because of the time constraint, what we will do is I will ask the question, as well as you can also give, if any, advice or suggestions for the government or to the public or to the mothers, but please be short for that because the time is short. Now I would like to start with Dr. Priyadarshini Rai. Dr. Rai, what are the available resources that women can look into the kids, especially when schools are shut?
Mothers can do one. The thing is, like, the online classes have started, so that is the best thing. We have very good technology. See, so we are from different places come together to discuss very nice things today. And your sir is conducting every day without any rest awareness program. And hats off to you, sir. And I don't think anybody is doing in the world the way you are bringing awareness. I'm thankful to you first and foremost. And yes, definitely, because of the technology we can take it as a positive thing in our life. And yeah, definitely schools are shut and online classes. We have to support the children to go very, very well with the online classes. And a small suggestion I wanted to give to the government is till 5th standard, the classes, recently they started for a week, then they closed the classes, online classes. And when the classes were on, my younger daughter was very happy. Morning she used to get up very early, and she used to get ready as she's going to a school. She used to come and get freshened and sit in front of the computer, and she was very happy. And one fine day, it was told that the online classes are not there till 6th standard. So she became very upset. I feel, it is not because the screen time, otherwise also they go for a screen time for some other activities in the mobile or the TV. So it's a request that, if it is for 1 hour or 2 hours, the small children also should have online classes that should be allowed, so that, those small kids also enjoy that, school timing with at least for 2 hours. Karnataka government should really take it seriously. That is one thing I want, because after that I saw her little upset. She said, I don't have, my elder sister has a class, but I don't have, I want the classes. So I think, government should see into it and help us. That is one important. We have to be positive, as Deepti ma'am has said. We women has to be healthy. We have to take care of ourselves. It is not our family. We always think about the family, but it is it's very important that we also have to take care of ourselves. And if we are healthy, our family is healthy and wealthy. And nice to meet all the ladies out there. Very, very eminent ladies. I'm really lucky to meet you all. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Rai, for giving the very valid suggestion that the online classes, even for 1 hour or 2 hours for the small kids, so at least they will not feel left out, and they will also feel that even the elders are online, so they can also have some time for enjoyment. Like Ms. Deepti has mentioned that it's like a game for the children. So yes, let us not take that opportunity from them. And that is very good. As well as you said, be positive. Yes, we all have to be positive. And as far as you have given me thanks, that I will not reply now. But on the lighter vein, yes, I can tell you that when I was to conduct this program, the television people told me that it's very, very difficult to handle 6 mothers at one time. And but today I'm feeling so much emotional and remembering my own mother, that I can say that yes, mothers are the very easy to handle, and they know how to conduct the things very smoothly. Now I would like to ask the question to Dr. Daniel. Dr. Daniel, how has your work-life balance been affected since the lockdown?
Sir, that question, I being a cardiologist, I couldn't sit for a single day at home. I was continuously working all throughout the day, though the schedule has little bit changed. But for some solutions, let me put forward. One is, as Ms. Priyadarshini has just told, we have to inculcate the culture of finding time to ourselves. Being a working woman or a mother sitting at home, we always try to find time for others. But even if it is at 10 o'clock at night, try to do some exercise or some motivational feeling, so that we ourselves consider ourselves important. For females, it's the biggest problem. They always, I'm seeing so many patients sitting at home, ladies after 40s, they are worn out. They think they are only for the family. No, we are for ourselves, for first ourselves. Health is the most important factor. So whatever burden we are having, try to find some time for ourselves. Our Prime Minister itself has promoted the yoga. I feel if you can sit at home and do yoga, maybe for few only postures, that will motivate the energy, increase the immunity of ourselves. And even if you have immunity only, then we can communicate to the family. That's one thing. And about the domestic violence, you should have the social security measures should be increased. Working mothers should have help from others, supporting system, so that they can find time for themselves and work for the society. So altogether, I feel whatever obstacles come in the way, the women will go forward. They will never give up. They will never lose hope. That is the quality of women. Thank you all for being in the panel. Thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity. Let me wind up from the program because I have to continue working. Please excuse so that I.
We understand, doctor. All doctors are right now they are saving us. and you are one of them.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, doctor, for joining us. And whatsoever you have mentioned, yes, very clear that we have to, all the mother have to see to their own health first. Then only they can keep the home, everyone, the family health intact. So thank you very much, doctor, for joining and giving so much time to us.
Yeah.
And now I would like to go to Dr. Remani Gopalakrishnan. Dr. Gopalakrishnan, my question to you is, what is your advice to other working parents, although you are still working, and especially the working mothers? Dr. Remani Gopalakrishnan, please.
Yes, sir. The working mothers, as most of the guests said, sir, they have to involve in activities to ease their tension, their anxiety, and their frustration. And otherwise, if they are not looking after their health will be at stake. It is a very dangerous situation, as most of us see. No? So that is my first advice. And the expectant mothers, they have to keep hygiene, they have to keep the social distancing, and they have to take rest. All these things, otherwise the role of mothers will be in a very, very bad condition. So the mothers or grandmothers or the working women, they have to see themselves, their health. So one more suggestion to the government. It is not women specific, but it is high time we have to intensify the research on our evolving some control measures, perfect control measures for the COVID infestation. So we have seen the medical experts say that the weakened human being, the immunity impaired human being, they are susceptible more for this virus infestation. So some immunity increasing, improving some healthcare programs for immunity increasing. Also the research on the medicinal plants to improve the immunity. All those things that we have, it is high time to start or to intensify research on all these aspects. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gopalakrishnan, for giving such a nice advice to the working women and the mothers, and your suggestion to the government that they should consider to increase the immunity of individuals by doing some healthcare program. And thank you very much for this suggestion also. I am sure that the government will definitely take care of this. Now I would like to ask the question to Ms. Hemlata Bhandari. Ms. Bhandari, what you think the impact of COVID-19 on mental health of women who have to juggle both works, kids and household work? So like as you have also mentioned in your earlier this thing that you have to work for everything. So now we would like to know what is the condition of the mental health of yours or the mother, any mother, when she has to do all types of works, whether work she has to do or the kids she has to handle or the household work. Ms. Bhandari, please.
Actually, good mothers provide the next generation of people who will inhabit this planet, a solid foundation upon which to grow and prosper. See, a mother who is patient, strong, firm, loving, generous, kind, smart, affectionate, supportive, and gentle will bring those qualities for the generations that follow her. Take example of you. See how you are doing this program. Nobody thought of it. It is not only the thing, it is worldwide. It is you have become a star actually. Daily I used to watch your programs, and I don't know how to explain or express your wonderful programs with these eminent persons. And how when you finally become an adult yourself, that you were blessed with a good mother, you realized all of the hardships and sacrifice that you endured so that you would have a good childhood and grow up well. It is then that you know that how truly blessed you are. Actually, I can say I love my mother as the trees love water and sunshine. She helps me grow, prosper, reach great heights. Actually, as a mother, we should not get panic or anything. We have to do as we can solve, easily we can solve any problem. Take the example of Indira Gandhi or Jayalalitha. I feel if Jayalalitha would be there, this COVID-19 would not have entered this Tamil Nadu. She would have, there only she would have stopped that whoever has the international passengers who had that COVID-19, she might have stopped. I feel like that. She was a really energetic lady. And so like this, women are not, take Madame Curie, And so take all the ladies. See, we are telling women in the form of Shakti. Take Parvati, Saraswati, or everything is there. No, without women, nothing can be done. So women can do anything. They can achieve anything also. So what I'm telling in this COVID-19, whether it is domestic or outside, see, we have to follow the rules, and government also should give to the poor, the needy ladies. They have to increase they should give the good ration food in the proper way, and they should increase their basic necessities. Like said, now they are giving only little money. They can increase it to 6,000 or 5,000, so that they can get the basic essentials, as they are not getting remunerations. And most of them, they are not into the job also. Not only this, I feel that the government, that women are disproportionately in poor, weaker section also. So the disproportionately representing poorly paid jobs are without benefits as domestic workers. We have to see the casual laborers also, street vendors, and small scale services like hairdressing. The International Labour Organ estimates the nearly 200 million jobs will be lost in the next 3 months alone, many of them in exactly these sectors. And just they are losing their paid employment, many women face a huge increase in care work due to school closures, overwhelming health systems, and increased needs of older people. Let us not forget the girls who have had their education cut short. In the villages, they are not having any education also due to COVID, and these people are not going. In some villages, school girls fell from 50% to 24% after this pandemic. So government should take steps, especially in the rural areas, to the weaker sections. And women should not stop only with the government. Even we can do so many wonders. We can help, we can take the aid, we can donate. And like you are doing a super job organ donation. So like that, we can donate ours. Each and every individual, each women can participate in that, and they can definitely defeat this. We can be as a warrior to fight against this COVID-19.
Thank you, Ms. Bhandari, for giving so much good suggestions to the government to increase the monetary part for the working women or the mothers, as well as you have mentioned that that women or the mother is Shakti, and she can do anything. Yes, you are right. And giving me the compliments, I must tell you, this is my duty. And it's not only my duty, I consider that every citizen of India, they have to perform their duty in this lockdown period. After all, it has not been created by us. It has been sent, it is everywhere in the world. And if we will do some good work by creating awareness, and if we can save some lives, I think that is what God has created us. Now the last word. I was told that the last word is always important. So the last word is with Ms. Deepti. You are working and you are still in the office, I can see. So impact on the role of working mother during the lockdown, as well as you can give the suggestions to the government and advice to the mother. Thank you.
So I would like to say that God made mothers because He cannot be everywhere. Because I mean, as everybody said, that we are more powerful, we are empowered, and we are super mothers who are continuing supporting the families, doing multiple multitasking roles also in these unprecedented times. Even in the lockdown period, even today also I am in office. It was very difficult to combat the situation, because managing both official and as well as working and household work as well as official work, it was really hard. I was going through very hard times between the lockdown time, because parallelly I have to do the office work at home. As earlier Madam Hemlata said, that working from home and working from office has got huge difference. It is to cope with both, we have to really struggle, because the focus, so many things is associated with it. So I would actually request, because my organization is so supportive that they have given us flexible timing, and there is relaxation in official hours also. So which helped us, which helped many of the mothers working in this organization to cope with it, to play a better role with the family, as well as to carry the official role parallelly. And I have one suggestion, because many of the rural area where I mentioned certain places where during the lockdown domestic violence spiked very high. So I would like to give one suggestion to bring up one helpline specifically for women on emergency helpline for mothers to support in this times of need. Because if we can come up with adolescent centers or child counseling centers, because I heard somewhere in the south only suicide of a kid because she was not able to continue with her online sessions because of the non-availability of a laptop or internet or something. So I would request we should have certain child counseling centers and emergency helpline for mothers, adolescent centers where the students or the kids can be put in right track. So these are the small suggestions for the government, because I would say that government is also parallelly combating COVID. And here I wish good luck and strength to all the mothers. Be superheroes, be superwomen, and be supportive as we all are doing in this unprecedented times. And good luck to all. No need of panic. It's just new normal now. We have to go with this COVID. We never know who is with COVID or without COVID. We cannot always sit at home being in scare. So please move on. Good luck to all. Thank you so much. I really love and I would wish and I would thank all the organizers for choosing this lovely topic. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Nair, for giving thanks to the organizers also, as well as your suggestion, which is very, very good suggestion, that yes, we should have a emergency helpline number to save the working or the mothers, working mothers or the mothers, as well as even the children. So today you have seen how the COVID-19 impact on Indian mothers. And you have seen how forcibly they have mentioned about their achievements, how they are facing the challenges and how they are handling it very positively, because they are mothers. And that's why Indian mothers are always treated as a Mother India. And we have to give them the respect. Yes, there were some grievances by our panelists that the domestic violence are increasing, more and more demanding demands of the husbands and whatnot. But still they are working. They are working 24/7 without any expectations from anyone. So I think we must salute them. They are the real warriors, because without them, no one can do. Whether it's a doctor, whether it's a politician, whether it's a police person, the role of a mother is very, very important. We should never try to underestimate the role of mother. No one can replace mother. Thank you for watching this program, which has been live telecasted today by V4 News, News Karnataka, Global TV, Malnadu TV, as well as it was live on Facebook and YouTube. And I am sure that you have liked this program, and we will be bringing more and more such types of program every day. Thank you all my panelists, or rather I will say all the mothers, for giving such a good, your suggestions, your views, and I'm sure that this will go in a long way, and the mothers of our all over India will definitely try to take the cue from this program and take advantage, and will definitely serve the country far better, and they will improve their life very much. Thank you very much. Thank you all panelists, and thank you all for watching this program.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.